She was the apple of her mother's eye since childhood, but while playing in the dyeing factory, she got a bit bored and cheekily touched the nearby worker didn't notice. As the girl turned the wheel, her skirt got caught. She struggled in vain. Subtitles. She began calling out to her mother, who was at work, and at that very moment, an unexpected accident occurred. A bucket of scalding boiling light came tumbling down. It splashed over her mother. The girl was terrified, unable to believe what had just happened, amidst endless wails. Soon, nearby villagers arrived, while a panicked worker told the dye factory boss with distress. The husband of the victim, just attacked, nervously checked his wife's injuries. Everyone was in shock, and the scene looked like a horror movie, only it was real life. As the man checked on his wife's injuries, her burned skin was a sight straight out of a nightmare. Overwhelmed by pain and unable to face the truth, he stormed toward his distant daughter. He believed that all of this twisted mess was her fault, which, honestly, was unfair, but he was too distraught to embrace logic. He vented on her, but nearby villagers intervened, stopping the situation from escalating. The girl was confined to a storage room by her father, who seemed to think ignoring her feelings was a great parenting move. She was frightened of everything, and the loneliness began to haunt her like an annoying ghost, making her act a bit spooky. Just then, a hole opened in the floor. It was Thomas, her only friend, coming to visit. His moves were odd near his peer. He felt her face as if reading Braille. Truly bizarre. After 3 days in a depressing cabin, Dina felt soul-sucked, drowning in guilt for her mom and enduring her father's coldness. Eventually, her scalded mother died. To move past the pain, Dina's father lit a torch after the workers splashed gasoline. He lit up the accident-causing factory. A friend appeared with luggage, ready to travel with her. Father brought her this tragic experience, which lingers in her heart. Just when they were about to board the ship for adventure, it felt like they could leave the past behind if only it were that easy. Dina was let out, looking like a lost puppy. Her dad hadn't looked at her in days, let alone showed any care. With her mom gone to the great beyond, and her dad playing the role of the absent parent, poor girl didn't even know how to cope with life's next episode. It's no surprise a child of 8 would be mentally shaken. Then she entered her mom's old room, seeking familiar comfort. She took out the magnifying glass her mom used to read the Bible. When she flipped through the old book, a sudden image appeared. It scared her. She stared awkwardly, uneasy, especially at the ceiling light. Terrified, she fled the room, swaying side to side during her father's absence. She would go to the seaside, covering her eyes with cloth, playing a game with her mom, except this was a steep cliff, dangerous yet thrilling. If she fell, it would be game over, but maybe she was trying to summon her mom's ghost. Talk about a unique way to deal with grief. The housekeeper shut snapped Dina out of her daydream. Her dad had returned, bringing home an influencer. Clearly, his attitude had changed. He was ready to welcome her back, but the lonely Dina had developed such a wild streak that she bit him. So now she was sent to the widget happy family time gone wrong. Thomas always visited, staring at her with innocent eyes. Meanwhile, her father, helpless, called his close friend for help. Jacob suggested hiring a tutor, thinking a change of scenery might help her, at least that's what everyone hoped. But this guy seemed even crazier than Dina, leaving her utterly confused and reaching for the Bible, thinking it might help her cope. Who knew the male teacher would grab a cello to play for Dina? As the lovely melody played, her worries instantly vanished. This was a feeling she had never had, as if all stress melted away. She rediscovered life's meaning, music's magic. When strings vibrate, humanity discovers the soul's code. Life is an unfinished melody, each note gathering strength. Each variation fights the void. Tears for the same melody warm the desolate universe, just briefly. 10 years later, Dina grew from a wild girl into a young lady, with guests flocking to hear her play. Particularly, her father's dear friend Jacob was smitten not just by the lovely tunes, but also by the gorgeous woman. Jacob called Dina's father outside and made a request. He had been alone since his wife died. Though over 20 years older than Dina, he still loved her and wanted to marry her, initially shocking her. But upon thinking carefully, marrying off his daughter didn't sound too bad. Jacob was a good friend, and they had business connections too. So the old man agreed to Jacob's request without much thought, thrilled at the news. Thrilled like a child, the conversation was overheard by Dina's friend, Thomas. The next morning, Jacob sent the horse over with some unexpected news, and this was certainly going to ruffle some feathers. Unexpectedly, things changed. Dina firmly rejected the marriage her heart already given to her tutor. She grew up with her father's beatings, those memories haunted her. As an adult, she'd never tolerate harm again. But denying an arranged marriage meant her beloved tutor took the hit, as her father blamed him for stealing her heart. So she wasn't going to take any nonsense, and neither was her father. Let the drama unfold. This family's in for it. Store's not done. Subscribe for more.